And today I have two great guests that I'm really excited about. They are Craig Mealy, and he's the Executive Vice President of All Action Alarm, and Brent Mealy, President and CEO of All Action Alarm.
Good morning, Lisa. How you doing?
Good. Good morning. How are you, Brent? How are you today, Craig?
Very good. Good morning, Lisa. How you doing?
Great. Today is a great day. It is June. It's bright and sunny out, so there's nothing much to complain about.
First day of summer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. So we're here to talk about All Action Alarm. And Brent, why don't you tell me a little bit about the company and where it's going today?
Well, basically the company has been around since 1980, so we've been in business since for about 42 years now.
You look really good. Where'd you start this? When you were 6?
So, yes, exactly. No, our father started the business back then. It was a part-time job, and he decided that he wanted to try something different other than the telephone company. He worked this business until about 1995. Then he retired from the phone company, and pretty much at the same time, I graduated college.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yes, and it was something that I wasn't sure I wanted to do, but what happened was I wanted to be in a business itself, some kind of business. And this opportunity came about, and I said, you know what, let's try it. And he brought me in, and he taught me the business or the technical side of the business.
Technical side, okay.
And I learned pretty much how to install security systems, the wiring, and understanding how security is put together. And as the years went on, I personally gravitated towards the business side of it and started doing more of the marketing on my own. Okay. And started, hiring different type of people. But I think it was 98 is when Craig started into the business with us and graduated college. So he could tell you a little bit more of his story, and then we could elaborate from there.
All right. Craig, so you joined in 1998.
I did.
And you were the younger brother.
I was. I mean.
Still am.
Always will be.
Right.
As far as a family business goes, technically we've been doing it our whole lives.
Yeah.
Officially, Brent starting after college. And when I graduated, Brent brought me in. I was working the summers with him and Dad, and basically I don't want to say convinced.
Strong arm. No, I mean.
It was a great opportunity.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing it. They brought me in. They were teaching me everything. I liked what was behind what the business was as far as providing security. Mm-hmm. So 22 years later, here I am. I am in charge of sales now. Both of us were doing installations for the majority of, the past 20 years. But we both took official roles, started hiring. So it's not just us doing everything. So now we have a great team behind us. That's
important to have a great team.
Absolutely. You can't do it. We couldn't do it on our own. Yeah. So it's been a exciting journey, and we are looking forward to continuing and providing security.
I love the fact that you came from the technical side and then discovered that you loved the business side, because you understand then how to put systems together and what it takes from technology and, from start to end, really what a home might need and what, it takes to protect your loved ones. So I'm sure your dad's very proud of where you've taken the company.
Yeah, he's recently retired, probably, I think, 3 years from now, and hopefully enjoying himself. And it's been a long journey. The technical side has helped us tremendously, because we're able to understand what the technicians are going through in the field.
Right.
When they run into troubles, what kind of issues they have, and it helped us develop our installation process that much better, and creating systems put in place to give our clients the most value we possibly can, because we understand what their needs are. And that's what differentiates us in the business, is really creating value for the end user. What we found out in the security world is that the end user is ignored. They don't really have too much contact with the installing company after it's installed. And we want to make that experience completely different, where we do annual inspections with our clients, make sure their systems are working properly, make sure we offer them additional value throughout the lifetime of their system, like services like if they have a security system, doing video surveillance. Now we do home automation, door locks, lighting, audio systems. So there's many different types of services that we could provide to our clients that enhance what they have now. So it's kind of nice.
I think that, the one thing that separates yourself is this, I've been reading about, is the umbrella of protection. And Craig, why don't you tell me a little bit about what exactly the umbrella of protection is, because this is so unique to All Action Alarm, and how you, what Brent just said, add value and take care of your client.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. What makes us different? We provide the umbrella of protection, and our goal is to provide actual protection for yourself, your home, your family, rather than the illusion of protection. Not coming in and just saying, oh, put this, this, and this. That's all you need. You're done, and our time is over. It's providing the value so they get actual protection and not just the illusion.
There's so many out-of-the-box DIY type of systems where you feel, like you said, the illusion of protection. You set up a video camera. Okay, look, I can see it on my phone. This is great. I know when someone's there ringing a doorbell, but does it really protect you? For me, I was very confused when, looking through the DIY systems, and then thank God, we decided All Action Alarm, which of course is just the best solution, I think, out there.
Thank you.
And when you talk about the umbrella of protection and all the different layers that it offers, I have dogs, right? They're my new children, because my children have gone off to school, right? So I want to know, what are they doing during the day? Are they protected? And then we like to take vacations, and your flood and environmental protection is so important. But there's also many things that you do offer which really separate you from your competition and adds value to your client. So it's summertime here on Long Island, and people are going away, right? You have people that are moving. There are issues when you're moving, but it's summertime, and when you're going away, you're always worried about leaving your home alone. What recommendations do you offer to your clients before you go away?
Before Brent answers, don't post anything on social media.
There you go.
Wait till you get home. It's just an invitation. There's too many easy ways to find out that you're not there. And then it's, people who see that potentially could now come to your home and know you're not there.
That's a good one, because often I see my friends posting where they're going away. They want to brag about.
Oh, yeah. Everybody does it.
Sure.
So,
but that's a great one. What do you think?
Another important thing is to have lighting that's around the house and inside the house come on randomly throughout the day and throughout the night, making it look like someone is actively in the house. Very, very important. And you can do that easily now through the cloud and automation.
That's great.
One of the biggest things now is you can have complete awareness of what's going on in the home. Seeing who's around, knowing if doors are opened. So you're not in the blind when you're away on vacation, which gives you great peace of mind. You're going away for a week or two. It's nice to know, especially if something happens at the house, you could actually let someone in your house remotely know it was them who came in. Or if you have a dog sitter, someone watching your pets, like you said, those are your kids now. You want to make sure the dog sitter is feeding your pets. They're there when they're supposed to be. So it's it's a great way of getting peace of mind when you're away, letting you enjoy your vacation more.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. And I think you can't put a value on peace of mind. I know that I worry tremendously when I go away. The other thing I worry about is floods. I mean, we live by the water. We're always,
Right, the water comes up, high tide, big storms, it could be an issue.
Yeah.
Right? And if you have the flood detectors in your house, you'll know before it becomes a big problem. And insurance companies actually give you a pretty big discount by having these flood sensors, because probably one of the biggest claims they have is water damage in the house.
It is the biggest claim. I was speaking to an insurance broker, and the number one insurance claim for a home is water damage.
Huh. See, so I'm not totally crazy when I come to worrying about floods, because last year we had quite a bit of storms, and I live close to the water. I'm in Port Jefferson, and all of a sudden I was away for a weekend. I come home and my new flooring that I had put in the basement is rippled and bulking up, and it was due to flood damage.
Yep.
Water and flood damage. So it does give you peace of mind. And now with the flood
Right.
sensors installed, I don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah, it makes it much easier.
There was a great story you told me a while ago about parents that were moved down south.
Yeah, it's the story about my mom, Craig's mom also, who they have a house down in Florida, and what happens is, it was probably about 10, 15 years ago they bought the house. And this is before all the automation really became popular. And on a regular basis, they would give us a call and ask us to go check on the house, make sure the heat's working, maybe take in some packages, verify that, things are okay. And on a weekly basis, we would get a call. And they didn't live that close. It was, it was an hour drive to get there. Eventually, we decided to put a new automation system in their house, security automation system, where they would have full control of what was going on. They could see inside the house through the cameras. If someone came to the door, they could basically answer the door through the video doorbell. If somebody was going to come and fix something in the house, they could unlock the door remotely, turn the alarm off remotely, speak to them, see what they're doing, and really know what's going on while this person was in their house, and have the system give them alerts of other things that are happening. It made it much easier, and it relieved their stress and anxiety, knowing that they had full control of what was going on. Another big thing was being able to control the heat and the air conditioning while they were away. Mostly
Sure.
It was during the winter, so it was pretty much the heat.
Right.
And
We didn't have to drive to the house every time something was wrong.
yeah, we didn't have
Well,
to.
that's a relief, right?
Yeah, that ended. That pretty much ended that. He had they had full control of the system, and they didn't need us to check it out anymore. And it really made their lives more pleasant.
More pleasant, but like you said, to be able to have more control. And I think you reach a certain age where you want to make sure you still have control over your things, because as you get older, you feel as if you're losing maybe a little control over your life, right?
Yeah,
Even
sure.
it could be health issues or whatever. I could see so many applications for this for, elderly people who are maybe in their home, but they can't get up as quickly maybe to answer the door, or they want to ensure that the people that are at their front door are the people who they say, and, being able to open the door remotely, being able to even change their temperature, they can't maybe function
You have a good
as well.
story.
You want me to tell a story?
Yeah.
You have it.
Oh, you
So we have a client of ours. They've been clients for, I think, 30, 35 years, and she had a very old security system. And in the last 5 years, she became pretty much disabled from being sick, and she couldn't answer the door anymore, and she was bound in a wheelchair. So what we came up with is we installed a electronic door lock on her front door, gave her a video doorbell. All this is incorporated into one app, and when someone came to the door, she could just pull up the app on her phone. She could see who it is, talk to them, and unlock the door right from the her living room, sitting in her wheelchair, or the kitchens where she mostly stayed. And she let the person in as needed. If she didn't want to, she said she wasn't interested. And she was always safe and secure in the house, not having to leave the door unlocked all the time.
That's terrific. Safe, secure, and I bet empowered. She must have felt very confident to be able, being able to take care of herself. So
she was so happy. She would call us all the time and say how
that's great.
Blessed she was to have something like this and make her life that much easier.
And I'm sure her children, knowing that she was able to take care of herself, felt the same. So that's a terrific story.
And with the growing elderly population, what I find when meeting with people is, as you get older, you're intimidated by some of the technology.
Absolutely.
So we've done plenty just like this example, and they end up where it's very easy to use and the intimidation goes away and it just makes their lives better and it's not a concern anymore. They end up actually start adding more devices because now that they're using it, they're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Why was I, not doing it? Why was I shying away from it? What was I afraid of all this time?
Right. That's true. Yeah, because technology can be intimidating. I know even for my own parents, elderly parents in their 80s, they tend to not want to even use, any form of technology. Sure.
And a lot of these people have second homes,
yes,
especially on Long Island. And for second homes, it's a no-brainer. As we've been talking, it's just the peace of mind. Having full awareness of everything that's going on when you're not there.
So when you talk about actually safeguarding lives and possessions rather than the illusion of security, that's one of the many benefits, right?
100%.
When you look at your competition, and we talked about this a little bit about the umbrella protection and separating and, how they create the illusion. I'll just tell you a little story about before, I encountered all action alarm. I had ADT, and I thought that it was the greatest thing in the world. And the only phone calls, though, that I had ever received from them was when there was something like my son or even my dog set off the motion sensors on accident. Yeah, false alarms. And then I realized that I wasn't being monitored by the police station, that there was no real central station that was attached to my security system, that was an extra added benefit onto the package. They would call the police, but there was actually no 24/7 monitoring unless, so it had to go through their call center and then to the police station, the way they had it set up. So I was just wondering, when you say that you're centralized and monitored through the police station, how does it work with all action alarm?
I'll let Craig answer that.
That's actually typically how it works. So we have a monitoring station.
Okay.
So when your security system is activated, the alarm, whether it's a false alarm or there's an actual break-in or fire, carbon monoxide, water, it goes to our central station. So an operator picks up the phone or sees the signal comes in. It says that there's smoke or burglary. We're going to call you first.
Okay.
Because we want to verify that there's no false alarm. Because you don't want the fire department or the police department at your house for no reason. And unfortunately, 90% of alarms are false alarms. User error. It's going to happen. There's a lot of false alarm prevention features now built in, but that's how it works. Alarm goes off, operator gets the call, then we dispatch the police or the fire department depending on the type of signal.
Well, what's nice about the new systems is that there's alerts built into it. Not only the central station gets notified of what's going on in the house, the system texts you through the app that what's going on. So whether or not the alarm went off, you'll get a text message that the alarm went off. When someone turns the alarm off, you'll get a alert that that person particularly shut it off, whether it was your son, your daughter, you'll get that actual alert on your system. So it gives you awareness of who just walked in. So it's there's other.
That's beneficial.
Yes.
I mean, right now okay, it was a false alarm. That gives you a little bit of peace of mind. So that's
right.
extremely
So
beneficial.
you could react pretty fast based on what the alert says. You'll know, let's say you got an alert that Susie walked into the house and all of a sudden the alarm went off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably your daughter that set it off by mistake, so you don't have to worry about it, and you could just, tell the central station everything's okay, don't dispatch the police.
Got it.
So it kind of prevents false alarms and gives you a peace of mind that there's, it was something that wasn't a big deal. Also being able to get alerts when certain things happen in the house. Let's say you have a cleaning crew or a cleaning company in the house and you don't want them in your master bedroom closet. We could put a sensor on that closet, and if they open that door, even if the alarm's on or off, you'll get an alert that door was opened. And if you could have valuables in there, jewelry, money or whatever, and you strictly, you told them, please do not go in that room, and at least now you know that if they are or if they aren't.
I have many thoughts on what you just said. But what I was going to say was there are also ways of, like, panic buttons where it's automatic dispatch. Central station sees panic, automatic dispatch to police. There's a few features. In the instance, God forbid, someone forces you in and says, shut your alarm off. So instead of putting your code in, you put in what's called an ambush code, and to that person, hopefully it never happens,
Right.
the alarm, it looks like you shut the alarm off, but at the same time, we dispatch the police. So
That's great.
there's no phone call,
Right.
automatic dispatch, and the police know it's something in progress, that there's an actual emergency, so it's priority.
That's huge.
Right. So, yeah, it's obviously something you hope you never need, but it's a
but
feature
that's great
that's there.
to know that that's there. Yeah.
Exactly. And to Brent's other point about putting it on your closet door or contact. So these are other features that you could utilize: gun cabinets, medicine cabinets,
Sure.
liquor cabinets. So or safes. So anytime these things open. So if the kids decide they want to, go into the liquor and,
Exactly.
ding, 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 I got a notification. Brent's trying to get some vodka out of the cabinet. And now,
That happened quite often. Thank goodness there were no security back then.
Yeah, right. So, but obviously more, scary would be if you have, a gun cabinet or something like that. It's
Sure.
something you want to be aware of if someone's opening it when you're not there.
Yeah.
So it's a nice feature. It doesn't cause an alarm, so you're not going to have a false alarm.
Right.
It's just,
It just
giving you awareness.
Notification, which is
Exactly.
wonderful. So now, if I was to call in, walk me through the process of what happens. How is the process with all action alarm?
So you're calling in as a potential client.
Potential client.
You went online and you said, wow, this company has a lot of good reviews.
That's right. And you do. You have so many great reviews.
Yes, our customers really like our process and what we have to offer, so they immediately ask, how do we give you guys a review? And we have a good process for that too. So and it goes right onto Google.
I mean, growing the business when Dad started, it was all growing the business was from referrals.
Sure.
He wasn't advertising or anything. Now, 60% of our new work comes from our existing client base, and the majority of the rest of it is from referrals still.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot about the company.
So whether it's, from either of those ways, an existing client, but a new client, they're going to call in. They're interested in, security. They've heard about us usually. Nowadays everybody's looking online and checking.
Sure.
We all do it.
Yeah.
Which is great. Excuse me. And so the beginning procedure would be whoever takes the call is going to ask a few questions to see what they're, interested in, why they're calling, of course. So we have some background. They are going to try to schedule a meeting for one of us, usually me, to go out there and meet with the client. Sometimes I'll have a conversation before meeting with them on the phone. Most of the time, I'm going there, meeting with the client, potential client, and going over what their lifestyle is, seeing how they're living.
Oh, okay.
Understanding, because getting an understanding of who you are is important to your security, because everybody's different. Besides the house being different, because yes, everybody's got different layouts, doors, windows, what are you?
Right.
But that may not be important to everybody. So I want to know exactly, and most people don't have any background on security either. So the biggest thing is giving them an education so they can make the best decision with, of course, my professional help, and guiding them in the right direction so they know what's available for their best security, to provide them with what's going to give them their actual protection for them personally.
Do you surveil the house, the neighborhood? Like, how do you come up with that? Just through meeting with the client? Obviously, you're on site, so do you get to walk around the house?
So yes, so usually if it's, whether it's a residential or commercial, it's a scheduled appointment. I'm going to that location and I'm going in, sitting down with them, and then doing a walkthrough of the property.
All right, and then you find the strengths and weaknesses of the house and where you think you would.
Correct. So after doing, I guess, what you would call an interview with them,
right?
Then I have an idea, and then yes, I'll look around and I'll point weaknesses out, based on their concerns as well, and letting them come to the decision like, yes, you're right. That's something that is vulnerable and we should protect.
That's great. So it's not just pull it out of the box, set it up, and here's your smart app, and now take a look at it. It's very customizable.
Yeah, and going with the DIY, are you trained? Do you have a professional background installing security? Would you know how to do it?
No, and I wouldn't even know what features I should have, right? I don't know.
Right. You just like you said, you're buying a box system. They say, okay, how many doors or windows do you have? I mean, what does that mean? You don't know what kind of protection is. And are you properly putting it on the door or window? Are you putting the motion detector or glass break sensor or the flood sensor in the correct spot?
That's right.
So, that's a big part of it, and a big difference between doing it yourself and having a professional company do the installation for you and make sure we're doing it properly.
All right. So,
well, I also want to elaborate on, I'm not sure if he mentioned it, but placement of the smoke detectors and the carbon monoxide detectors. Those are life safety devices. And there are specific places they need to be put in order to give you the proper protection. Sure. If you put a smoke detector too close to an intake of an air conditioner, the smoke is just going to get sucked up if the air conditioner is on, and it's never going to go off, the smoke detector. So there is proper placement of all these devices, and it's really important. It is life safety.
Yeah. I mean, you can have a smoke detector, but if it's in the wrong spot, it's not going to do you any good.
Exactly.
And carbon monoxide, is a silent killer, right?
Absolutely.
And
correct.
And we've seen that on Long Island, especially around the holiday time for some reason. You see a lot of that. So, yeah, I wouldn't take that into my own hands at all.
It's good to have multiple devices throughout the house, properly placed, so they do protect you and your family.
And by the way, I don't care if you don't have a security system or not. Make sure you go to somewhere and buy yourself some smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. It's the most important thing you could have in your house for life safety. It's actually something that saves lives.
That's great.
Having it monitored is that much better.
Those are really good tips. Well, it is summertime. People are moving out of their homes and relocating on Long Island, getting ready for the new school year. There's a lot of moving going on in the real estate arena right now. We've seen, prices going all over the place after the pandemic. When you're a new homeowner, or what precautions, or how should you, and when is the right time? So there's a lot of questions I have around this, but when is the right time to get involved with a security system as you're moving into a home? And then if you're not going to be in the home right away, because some people are doing renovations, is that a good time? What do you recommend?
The security system itself probably should be put in pretty quickly after or during the move-in process, because what's going on at this moment in time is people who are walking by the house see a lot of activity, see that you might be moving in, but you're not living in the house yet. And that's a green light to, all right, they brought all their stuff in, but they're not here yet. And this is an opportunity to walk right into the house and take, what we want. Of course, chances are they don't have their security system turned on. They haven't called a company. So immediately when you find out what your moving-in date is, see if there's an existing security system in the house, have it turned on. If there's not, have a company come in and supply you. Even if it's not a full security system, you could start basic, and then work your way up from there. It's just something is better than nothing. And then I'll let Craig answer other things that we could add on to the house when you're moving into the house.
The answer is immediately. Yesterday. Why don't you have it yet?
Right.
And because I'm meeting with the clients all the time, potential clients, I always get, and a lot of them newly married, so you get a lot of people who have grown up with an alarm system, and then the spouse never had an alarm system. It's like, why do I need this? Spouse is like, I'm not moving in this house without this alarm system, so you can't get me in. But regardless, you should have it right away. I mean, the same points, and if you are doing construction, before you move in, if you're not going to be moving in the house right away, of course, if you are moving in the house right away, you should have it. But you could do things where you're not there, you have awareness of what's going on during the process before you move in. Right. I can't see any reason why this wouldn't be one of the first things you do when moving into a new home. It's to me, it's a no-brainer, not just because that's what we do, but you're not there. Do you want to know if your house is on fire?
Yeah.
Do you want to know when the contractor got there?
Yeah. Right.
So,
yeah.
And one of the big things is for most of it, you don't need any internet connection initially.
Okay.
Because a lot of times that's
a deterrent. Yeah. People.
Well, no, meaning that like some cameras, you need internet connection if you want to view it. Even though most people's priority is internet and TV as getting the first thing when they move in. But my point being that you could have the system in place. You don't have to pay for your cable service or TV internet service before you have a security system. It's not relying on it.
Okay.
The security system will stand on its own.
Understood. All right.
So immediately.
Okay. Now, one thing that I read online was that a security system can help you with car theft if the car is in your driveway. And I never really thought about that correlation before. And that car theft is on the rise on Long Island, which was pretty interesting to me, right? And it seems to be happening more in Suffolk County as opposed to Nassau County, which was another interesting fact that I read online.
It's probably the largest form of crime right now is car break-ins.
Yeah.
People, if you ever watch any of the or look at any of these neighborhood watch like next door, constantly videos of from their Ring cameras or whatever it is, people checking the door locks in the middle of the night, and so many people leave their cars unlocked. So they're breaking the cars and running and taking whatever they can. home burglaries have been down, but they're going up now. Okay. I'm seeing because people are going back to work. They were home for a while. So most burglars don't want to confront someone. So everybody was home from
COVID.
Mm-hmm. So that went down a little, but now economy's down. We're hearing it all the time, break-ins constantly now. But car break-ins have been on the rise. So you could put a camera outside,
right?
And you'll see what happens. And cameras are great for awareness, knowing what's going on the property, letting you know someone's outside your home. So if you need to take action, you can. They're not going to protect you like the alarm. They're not going to catch anybody usually because someone could be wearing a mask,
right,
or a hoodie, which is most common, what you see when with cameras. So having the security system on the house is what the real protection is going to be for you personally and your possessions.
Understood. Well, I think this has been a great discussion about safety and how to keep Long Islanders safe, and you definitely have a great company. And the point of differentiation is obvious. So thank you for educating me.
You're welcome.
And thank you for educating the audience.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.